Hello, everybody, and welcome to my podcast, Nintendo E3 Predictions. My name is Strike Mario. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Today, we'll be covering what Nintendo may do at E3 2021. So, first of all, I'm going to discuss what I think will be there, and then I'm going to be ranking it. And then I'm going to discuss the things that just like predictions rather than. I mean, yeah, it is predictions, but it's all predictions, but like games I think could be coming or games I want to see. So, obviously I can't like get any new announcements really. Some are obvious and some are just, games we're due for. Like, for example, we haven't had a Kirby game in a while or a Donkey Kong game. So, we're actually due for a sequel game. So, we could be expecting those at E3, but I can't say for 100% that those will come. Some of these games were announced recently at the last Nintendo Direct, so I can say that they'll probably be covered in some form at E3. So, with that covered, I think we can go ahead and get started. So, the first thing I think will be appearing at E3 is Mario Golf Super Rush. It was it was supposed to come out actually later in the month at E3's in. So we'll probably get something on it, but we did just get an overview trailer, so maybe not. I'm starting to think less now, but it probably will still be at least mentioned at E3, especially since it's releasing later that month. Next up we have Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. They're supposed to be released late in the year. So it might be this year's like holiday game, like the game that everybody's gonna be buying at Christmas, or the game that Nintendo wants you to buy at Christmas. Again, I can't say that for certain, but it's supposed to be releasing really late in this year. And if that's true, it'll probably end up being a holiday game. Plus, it's Pokemon, and Pokemon's like the biggest multimedia franchise of all time, so it'll sell like hotcakes at Christmas. Next up, we have The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD, which comes out the day. So E3 is a multiple day event, and the last day of E3 is they last about 3 days, and the day after the last day of E3 is the day that Zelda Skyward Sword HD. So that'll most likely be discussed about. I would be surprised. But there's not much to cover since it's just a port of an old game with improved graphics. So I wouldn't expect like something crazy to be discussed, but I would definitely expect at least some form of like, hey, this game's coming out soon, so go check it out. But since they schedule it for like the day after E3, they might be planning something special. They might even announce something even better, but we might discuss later in the video. I said video, podcast. I'm just used to saying that because I have a YouTube channel. I might actually even put this on my YouTube channel. Not sure about it, though. And if it's on my YouTube channel and you're watching, cool! Next thing is Splatoon 3. It was announced in a Nintendo Direct earlier this year, and it's set for a 22 release, so we might hear something about it, but I don't really think we will. Since it's in like the summer, so the original Splatoon was released in the summertime. Not the original Splatoon. Well, actually every Splatoon game so far, 1 and 2, was released in the summer. So I feel like it'll be announced at the next E3 and then released later that year, later that summer. That will make more sense, but we could still hear anything about it since it was just announced. So you can probably be expecting Splatoon 3. Next up, I keep saying that's not good. And it's unnecessary too. Oh yeah, by the way, I have something to tell you guys. It's really, really important. Um. Okay. Moving on from that, the next thing I'm going to discuss is Pokemon Legends Arceus. It's supposed to release early 22, so we might hear something on it. Although I do feel releasing the Diamond and Pearl remix right before Pokemon Legends will affect the success of the game, since you're literally releasing a remake of a mainline Pokemon game. Why would you want to immediately afterwards buy a game that's a brand new thing? So I feel like it might not sell as well, since people probably would have spent their money on Diamond and Pearl already. Because I'll probably be picking those games up, but I definitely have no interest at all in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Like, I'm sure like one of my friends will. I have a friend that really likes Pokemon, and I think that they'll almost definitely get it because they even said they wanted to get it. So if that happens, I probably just borrow it from them. But I definitely want to pick up the Diamond and Pearl remakes. Moving on, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 was announced 2 years ago at E3, so if we didn't hear something on it, I would be surprised. Nintendo said they would discuss it more later this year, so it would make sense to, again, have it, I was gonna say it again, but I stopped myself. It would make sense to have it announced or discussed this year, because it's been a while since we've gotten anything on it, and they even said that they would discuss it more this year, later in the year, and so E3 would probably be the best place to talk about it. Majora's Mask was released less than a year after Ocarina of Time, which are the two Nintendo 64 Zelda games, and they were released like a few years apart. I just said a number, but and they used the same graphics and the same engine, just changed things up a lot, so it was still worth buying. It was a sequel game, and again, I'm just not gonna correct myself on those anymore because I'm gonna probably say that a lot, and I'm just not gonna make it a big deal. But based on what we've seen of Breath of the Wild 2, I think it'll follow the same formula. We'll just have another game using the same graphics, same engine, same concept, just different things and events happen in the game, new features and stuff. I would say we hear something about it at E3 and it releases in 2022, but that might not be all true. But expect to hear something about that. Metroid Prime 4 was announced to have restarted development in 2017, and that's almost 4 years to work on a game that has already been in development prior. The game was already being developed before 2017 for the Switch. And if it's still being worked on, if it's been worked on for a while now, it's probably done with. It should be done with development, to be honest, because since they already will probably use some ideas from the original development time into the new one, and they had another 4 years to work on it, they probably have at least something to show for their work. So I'm expecting an announcement. I'm not even like a fan of the Metroid series. I like the original games, but I wasn't really into the Metroid Prime. But I'm expecting something. I feel bad for like Metroid fans. I'm not saying rush the game out or anything, because if that happens, the game will be garbage probably. But I want a good game, even though I probably won't be picking it up. I might, because to get myself into the Metroid Prime series. Although it's most games, only like AAA games, usually take 4 to 6 years to develop. Usually smaller games take less, but you get the idea. Games don't take that long to develop. I mean, they take long, but they don't take like decades long usually. Metroid Prime 4 will most likely get something talked about at E3. If not, then I guess we're not getting Metroid Prime 4 anytime soon. But moving on it's time that we rank what I think is most likely to appear, or from least likely to most likely. Alright, so Splatoon 3 is the least likely thing I think is to appear. I'm saying it may be a next summer release, so I think it's best to appear at the next E3 rather than this one. The first two Splatoon games released in the summer, and the game is set for 2022. It would make sense to release it in the summer and be shown off at E3. Even if it doesn't release in the summer, it's releasing in 2022. But I feel like it would make sense if the first two released in the summer, and just to keep it the same overall, it would probably make sense to do that. Next is Pokemon Legends Arceus. It'll probably have a minor appearance because the main thing that Nintendo will want to be advertising is Diamond and Pearl remake, since they're coming out next year, which is why I think that might affect the success of Arceus, because Nintendo's going to advertise the one that's coming out soon rather than the one that's coming out later, even though they're not that far of a release apart so far. Next up we have The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. This will probably appear at E3, but I don't think it'll be discussed much. Mostly because it's not a brand new game. It's just a remake of an old game. Not a bad game at all. Nowhere near a bad game. It's a really good game. But it's a Zelda game, so that's to be expected. And it works. It should work really good with the Joy-Cons and stuff. So it'll probably like be discussed, but I don't expect like a huge thing on it. Because it's a remake, and you can just look at what the old one was like, since it should be like the old one, unless they change stuff, which I'm all for adding new content to an old game. But why would you want to do that? The game will probably sell just as well whether you have new content or not. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Well, this is the stuff that's probably gonna be there, the most likely stuff. But the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is coming out as this year's holiday game, most likely. We'll probably hear something about it. I don't think we'll like get something crazy, but it'll probably get something on it. But it's just a remake, so adding new stuff would make sense, since it's not like just a port like Skyward Sword is. That's just a remaster of better graphics. But a remake is where you rebuild the game from scratch. So they'll probably discuss new things that the game will have. But that's also really cool. Speaking since... Okay, I have something on my TV, and it's at volume 1, and it's just saying... Mario, 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 over and over again, and it's really annoying. But we should hear something on Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, but I don't think we'll like get a ton on it. We probably will though, to be honest, since it's a Pokemon game, and Pokemon gets good treatment since it sells well. It's Pokemon. Next up, we have Metroid Prime 4. As I said, it's been developing for years, so they should have a good bit of development done. I feel like it'll be released next year, but I really do feel like this will be something that'll appear. It's been in development for a long time, but I'm not trying to just repeat the same thing over and over again, so we're gonna move on. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 will most likely appear, since in the February Direct, IG Enuma said we will give more information later this year. E3 would be perfect to do that, so I would hope they would say something about it. Mario Golf Super Rush was revealed at the last Nintendo Direct, but it doesn't feel like they've shown off quite everything, which is what I had written down. I am reading off of it, not a script. It's just what a paragraph of what I wanted to say. And at the time when I wrote it, there was barely anything on it. But they recently released a trailer of what would be in the game, like an overview trailer, gameplay and stuff. So I don't think we'll be hearing a ton of it, if at all, at E3. But that doesn't mean not to expect it at all. They'll probably have something there. But I still feel like it'll something will be discussed there. Now we're gonna go through things that I just want to see or I think that might see. People have been recently leaking and rumoring and all that stuff that a better version of the Nintendo Switch is coming, like a Pro version. Like the 3DS had multiple versions for different things. Like the 2DS, is like this. What we have, like the Switch Lite, a cheaper version of 3DS that's lacking a feature. The 2DS couldn't flip and it didn't have the 3D thing, which I don't understand why you really want the 3D, because it kind of sucked. For some games it was good. I'm not saying that it was all bad. Nintendo, if they get something wrong, they usually write it 10 times over because it's Nintendo. And the 3D wasn't really something I liked, but in some games it worked pretty well. But you're not really missing out if you get a 2DS. 2DS will probably be bought for younger children, so I don't get why they didn't put the flip screen, because it'll probably break easier. But it doesn't matter. The Switch Lite just can't dock, so it's not that big of a deal. The game it can still run like games like Overwatch and Skyrim surprisingly well. It's like the best mobile gaming thing you can get. So if you are on the go gamer and you don't really want to buy a Switch because you don't have time to play it at home, the Switch Lite is definitely the way to go. But the 3DS also had like versions that made it bigger or gave it more features, called the Pro SL, the new XL, and stuff like that. That just made it a better thing. So people are thinking like the Switch will have like an upgraded version that'll be more expensive. To be honest, I'm not thinking it will come. And Nintendo doesn't usually announce consoles at E3. They usually do that separately. But it's not like they never will. It's a possibility, but I don't think we will have this discussed at E3. If we do, it'll probably be later in the year, near the holiday, so people will be buying Switch Pros during the holiday time. But who knows? There's a few sequels we could also have announced, which I discussed earlier. I said we will discuss sequels. We haven't had a Kirby game in about 3 years, so I think a Kirby announcement is actually pretty likely. It can be announced at E3 and released March of the next year, just like scurvy. I said scurvy, like the disease that pirates got. When pirates were still a thing. But Kirby will definitely be getting an announcement for a game sometime in the near future. I said definitely because, I mean, it's probably not, I can't say definitely, but most likely we'll have an announcement. Because it's been 3 years since the last game, so I would assume we'd have an announcement that something that for Kirby's at least being worked on. But don't get me wrong, Kirby, the creator of Kirby doesn't really want all these sequels. So any Kirby game could really be the last. I doubt even if he stopped working on the games, Nintendo would probably still produce them. I'm not sure. I don't work at Nintendo, so I can't really be sure about anything. But a Kirby game seems something likely. Star Allies was released in March, so it would just be cool to have the same thing happen. I also mentioned that with Splatoon 3. Another thing is, we're in a Mario Kart for a while. We had the Mario Kart home circuit thing, but that wasn't like an actual mainline Mario. I mean, there's no spin-off for a spin-off. That sounds weird. But a Mario Kart home circuit is expensive, really expensive, and I don't think people really want to buy that. Like, people who just want to play Mario Kart casually, who just don't want to buy that. Why would they want to buy that when they could get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? But I mean, of course, some people who really want to do something cool like that, because I definitely would want to do that. I don't want to play Mario Kart in my home, but not everybody wants to do that. Some people just want to have a casual Mario Kart expensive. I almost said Mario Party, which we could be getting another like announcement for that soon. But we recently got an update, so I doubt we would get a Mario Party announcement. I don't think I wrote that down. I didn't write that down. But if you want a Mario Party game, I would probably say no, but for this year, but maybe next year or the one after that. Plus, I like the Super Mario Party. It's fun. But we could get a Mario Kart 9 this year. We haven't had Mario Kart 8 was released in 2014. It's 2021, so it's been a while since we've had a brand new console full-fledged Mario Kart game. Unless you count Tour it's a mobile Mario Kart game, and it's pretty cool. It's not the best thing out there, but it's a cool Mario Kart experience. Home circuit is fun, but I'm talking about a Mario Kart 9. We got the port version of Mario Kart 8 was 8 Deluxe, and it was released in 2017, and I actually got it the day it came out because I had it pre-ordered. I don't really get why I wanted to play Mario Kart that bad. But I apparently, back in 2017, had a really high craving for Mario Kart. Because Breath of the Wild just wasn't doing it for me. I need Mario Kart, Mario Kart. But next up is the Zelda 35th anniversary. That's this year too, I believe. If I'm not wrong, Zelda will probably be getting something. It has to have something for its 35th anniversary. I doubt Nintendo will just do absolutely nothing for its 35th anniversary. I'm sure we'll have something, at least some more HD ports of old games. But we had Mario's 35th anniversary, and we got the 3D All Stars. So I'm hoping to get a Zelda All Stars thing. The 3D All Stars pack is really cool. I haven't finished Sunshine yet, because I just got it recently. I got it right before it went off of shelves. I've played 64. I've beaten it multiple times. I played Galaxy. I beat it once or twice, but I never beat Sunshine. I only got to the first world, and I was really little when I played Sunshine, so I was really bad at it because Sunshine is one of the harder Mario games. It's not crazy hard, but it's definitely it's not as, what's the word I'm looking for? As forgiving as the other Mario games are. If you mess up, you go all the way back. I've caught myself getting frustrated multiple times on it, but I'm getting a little off topic. I feel like we should get a Zelda 35th anniversary thing as well. Since Zelda is another really important IP that Nintendo has. So we could get something for Zelda, and I'm assuming we probably will. We could get the Zelda HD and Twilight Princess HD ports again, since those were already made. It'll probably be pretty easy to port over. These last two things I'm gonna discuss are just things I hope come to the Switch. Not things that I think are likely or will ever become, but just things I really want. I want a Super Mario Strikers sequel. It's been a while. It was a 2005 GameCube game. It was a 5-on-5 soccer game with an edgy Mario twist. It was like the style was edgier, and everybody was just angry. It looked like they wanted to punch each other in the face with soccer balls or something. It was a lot more edgy. The style was really cool. It was a fun game, and that's what I based my new YouTube channel off of. There was a sequel on the Wii. It followed basically the same formula, but had new features and stuff. I don't think I ever played that one, but it looks pretty fun, and people like it better. The Wii just kind of skipped over tennis. The Wii U got tennis. I hope it's like the same situation where like the Wii U skips over soccer. Since like the Wii skipped over tennis, but the Wii U got tennis, I feel like the Wii U might skip over soccer, and the Switch will get soccer. At least that's what I hope happens. But since we didn't get Striker's Team for the Wii U, I think Striker's Charged would probably work just as well if it was ported to the Switch, since the Joy-Cons are like the answer to everything when it comes to porting things from the Wii to the Switch. Which I'm hoping we get a lot of Wii stuff. Because if they don't put a lot of Wii stuff onto the Switch, it's kind of a missed opportunity. I really want to be able to play the Wii games that I grew up with, since the GameCube and the Wii are the two consoles that I ended up growing up with. So revisiting those games that I can't play now, well, I probably can, since there's like a Wii every 2 houses probably. My Wii broke after 8 years of having it. It still worked. Like, you still open it and play games that were downloaded, but you couldn't like put games. If you put a disc in there, it just wouldn't work anymore. So that was unfortunate, but I still used it to watch like Netflix and play games that I had downloaded on it, which I didn't have much. But everybody owns a Wii. If you don't own a Wii, why? Get a Wii, just to have an excuse to own a Wii. But it'd be nice to have those on the Switch, since not nursing homes aren't like around everywhere. Like, if you go to any nursing home, I bet you there would be a Wii. If there's not a Wii, give them a Wii. Donate a Wii. Like, if you donate the Wii you probably have, because if you don't have a Wii, I'm gonna smack you. I don't know why, but I really just want to smack you for not owning a Wii. Even if you've owned a Wii, why don't you still own one? Did you sell it like me? I didn't sell my Wii. I sold my games for my Wii to try and get a Wii U, but I didn't have enough because GameStop didn't want to sell me. Buy a Wii, seriously. I'm really hoping for another Mario Baseball. It's probably more likely. I just transitioned. That was a horrible transition. I just said, soccer. I'm gonna yell at you for a second. Moving on. To baseball. Yeah. Anyways, Mario Superstar Baseball was released in 2005 and got a sequel in 2008. I mostly got the sequel stuff done. Oh, I just got a message from my friend. I told him I was working on the podcast. He messaged me about the podcast when I'm doing the podcast. Shout out to X-Man Gods for being a cool kid. But anyways, the first, I did play the GameCube version first, but I didn't really play it much. I played the Wii version more. It was the first game that my parents ever let me actually pick out. Like, my mom just went to the store. She said since I got good grades or something, I could pick out a game. And we went to the store, and I saw Mario Kart 7, so I said I wanted that one. But she said it wasn't for the Wii, and then I was like, oh yeah, you're right. So we went to the Wii, where the Wii games were, and I actually had a Mobiga at this time. I don't know if a lot of people know what that is. But there was Mobigo games a lot everywhere, too. So we go to the aisle where all the games are. There's a bunch of Mario games. And for some reason, I go into the aisle, and the first thing I get that catches my attention is Super Mario Sluggers. And I said, that one. So I went home and played it forever. And then I lived happily ever after, and I played Super Mario Super Sluggers all day, every day for the rest of my life. The game will always have a special place in my heart because it's just a special game to me. It's the first game I ever got to pick when I got, because I usually just got games as a gifts and stuff. It was actually possible to get like 8 or 9 people to play it in a special mode, and I always wanted to see what would happen. But I never got 8 or 9 people to play Sluggers with me, so that was unfortunate. The most I ever got was like 2, I think. The next thing I have on here is a Mario Sports All Stars pack. Oh, okay. Yeah, like a like you know how we had 3D All Stars, where we had 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. I want like that, but like for 3 really good sports Mario games. Like like Sluggers, Strikers Charged, and Tennis for the Nintendo 64. Just throwing random ones out there. Those probably wouldn't be it. It'd probably be like 64 games, and they should probably make one just for tennis, because those are really usually the ones that people like the most. Maybe they should throw in the GameCube tennis, Nintendo 64 tennis, and the Nintendo 64 Golf, since those are usually seen as the best sports Mario games. Although that's not really what I want, I would probably get it anyways, because I like those games. I hope we could get a Sports All Stars pack, but that's another thing I want. But I don't think we will. Oh, and just a port of Sluggers would also be nice, but I don't think we'll get that, since Sluggers isn't really talked about anymore, and people aren't like, "Oh, Nintendo, please give me Super Mario Sluggers." Nobody's saying that, so I highly doubt that. Since Mario Bros. Super Rush is coming out this year, I doubt they'll announce a 3D or a Sports All Stars pack, since they would probably want the focus on the sports game they already have coming out. So it's just a dream, just not a very likely dream. They'll probably wait to announce it to prevent games from competing each other for sales. Like, if you already have a sports game releasing, why would you want to have another one taking the other one's sales? You just have people focusing on one. But no matter what Nintendo announces at E3, I'm okay with it, because in the end, Nintendo's just all about fun. It's not. It doesn't matter if I don't get what I want every single time. And plus, they've already spoiled us with so many games. I don't think we need new stuff. But they're always trying their best to release stuff. So thank you, Nintendo.